We're going to talk about Arizona, where the reverse is happening. Donald Trump is closing the gap there. We're going to talk about whether or not he has the votes to close it and maybe overtake Joe Biden next.
운동하겠습니다.
Wherever you are in the world, Lotte is always close to you. Lotte will be with you throughout the world until the name Lotte is synonymous with friendship. Your lifetime friend, Lotte.
On the next CNN Business Traveller, the future of mice.
This is a tipping point for our industry, a revolution.
How we gather, the game is changing.
Wow, I can see some other participants.
Mixing virtual and live.
The extended reality experience.
Meetings, incentives,
We have a box of goodies. Ooh, what's in it?
conferences and exhibitions. Mice reinvented. On the next CNN Business Traveller.
Saturday on CNN. The journey to the top for a successful business in Africa starts with an idea. But how does a concept become a moneymaker? African and global industry leaders share their stories. Sunday on Profit Point in CNN Marketplace Africa in association with Dangote.
We are worried, of course, because we have always been oriented to reality and to the facts, and we have to face the rise of infections, and we know what is going to happen, that autumn and winter is coming, that we will see flu and fever diseases, so we have to prepare. The virus is the source of all the damages and consequences and not the lockdown. The lockdown was the rational measure and tool to get a grip on the development of the pandemic. So what our overarching goal is to avoid a second lockdown, and if the communication remains honest, clear and rational, I think we will achieve the most important goal. This is the discipline, the general discipline of the people.
Founded in 1755, Vacheron Constantin is the oldest continually operating Swiss watch brand. In 1947, Switzerland gifted a diamond-encrusted Vacheron Constantin watch to then Princess Elizabeth of the British royal family on the occasion of her wedding. In 1981, now Queen Elizabeth II re-gifted the watch to Princess Diana on the occasion of her wedding to Prince Charles. The traditional self-winding ultra-thin is only 7.26 millimeters thick. Vacheron is renowned for its finishing, and it constantly amazes me that even on the components of an ultra-thin, which are particularly small, they still manage to polish and even decorate them when there's so little metal there.
I'm Scott McLean in Berlin, and this is CNN.
The U.S. election still hangs in the balance. The state of Arizona is still very much in play. Joe Biden's lead there has shrunk. It is now less than 70,000 votes. Let's go to CNN's Stephanie Elam live in Phoenix. Stephanie, what are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Yeah, just because people wanted it to be tighter, just so more nails could be bitten here. If you take a look at this, John, what we are seeing after we got those 2 tranches of ballots that were counted last night here in Maricopa, and why it matters what Maricopa County does is because this is the most populous county in the state. So that is why people are paying attention to this fact that Biden's lead over Donald Trump here now shrinking down by 10,000 votes in that last group of numbers that we saw here. So taking a look at the state as a whole, the state is saying that they have some 450,000 votes that still need to be counted. And then here in Maricopa County, there's about 300,000 of those votes that still need to be tabulated. These are ones that were probably dropped off on election day that had been filled out. So that is going to take some more time. So we expect to see more of these numbers this evening. But still, for a lot of people watching what's happening here for these 11 electoral votes, it's still getting tighter, not wider. And that is why a lot of people are very much keeping their eyes right here, John.
Stephanie Elam in Phoenix for us. 4 years to grow back those fingernails. We can start in a day or 2. Thanks so much for being with us, Stephanie. Moments from now, election officials in Georgia, they hold a news conference. 18,000 votes separate the 2 candidates, getting more narrow by the minute. Stand by for more information.
Oasis in the western Egyptian desert is the very definition of perfect isolation. This remote place of stunning natural beauty lures tourists with the promise of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Siwa is offering many kinds of wellness activities.
Many come for the famed sand treatments, but then find the oasis has more to offer.
People asking more for the salt treatment. Salt is very good for lungs, for all the breathing system in the body.
Freshwater springs, rich in sulfur, are believed to possess restorative qualities.
It's very, very good for the body, skin, the joints, the hair.
Siwa Oasis is a destination that's off the beaten track, but the lure of its spas and treatments entices tourists to take the road less travelled.
I'm Fred Pleitgen in Moscow, and this is CNN.
There, another shot.
This is the 100 Club, our look at companies that are 100 years old or older.
One of our most popular teas is the famous Earl Grey blend.
It's the drink that built a nation. The best tea may be produced in China or India, but there are few countries which enjoy a nice cuppa more than England. And in London, there's one company which has been brewing up for more than 300 years.
With all that milk, your cup of tea. You must drink it the way you like it. And yes, a day without Earl Grey is not a good day. The company started when Thomas Twining bought an existing London coffee house. Within the city of London, there were over 2,000 coffee houses, so intense competition. So having trained in tea, he introduced fine quality teas to his coffee house as a point of difference.
I'm Selena Wang in Hong Kong, and this is CNN.
The final votes in the final states being counted as we speak in Atlanta, where they've been at it nonstop all night. Those ballots and others are all that stand between Joe Biden, President Trump, and the White House. And we could have answers very soon. And hello again, thanks for joining us. Get ready, the biggest county in what the Biden campaign is hoping will be the biggest and most unexpected prize for them is wrapping up its count. We're talking about Fulton County, Georgia. That's the Atlanta area. We are expecting to hear from officials very shortly. We'll obviously bring that to you live. Erin Burnett is also with me as well today. Erin?
All right, Anderson, and everybody was waiting, and now maybe Fulton County some answers. Nevada assumes some more information. Votes coming in from Arizona and Pennsylvania, where hundreds of thousands of ballots still remain. The big question, of course, is will this be enough as these numbers come in to put Biden ahead and over that key 270 winning mark? And Nevada, I mentioned as well, Anderson, obviously the Biden margin is slim and shrinking, but we do expect an update on that in the next few hours.
Yeah, and there's new reporting on the mood at the White House. We'll be hearing live from our correspondents. We also expect to hear from a number of key newsmakers. A big morning, perhaps a decisive one. We'll know more from Georgia momentarily. Before we go any further, I want to quickly show you just how razor thin the margins now are in the remaining key states. What a race this has been. Let's take a look. Nevada, Joe Biden is ahead, but only by 7,647. That's really unchanged. That's the numbers we saw yesterday as well. Nevada, unclear exactly when we'll be getting new numbers from them. Yesterday, they had indicated that as a state, they would report numbers at 7 p.m. On each successive night. We are waiting to hear if we're going to get new numbers before then tonight, but that is a very slim lead for Joe Biden. Georgia, President Trump is ahead, but that lead has been shrinking. He's ahead by 18,586 votes. As I said, we're expecting to hear more from Georgia officials with new numbers very shortly. Arizona, Vice President Biden ahead with 68,390. All during last night, new numbers were coming in. Biden's lead shrinking somewhat in Arizona, but still a lead of 68,390. North Carolina, President Trump ahead, 76,737 votes. And Pennsylvania, this is just a fascinating race to watch in Pennsylvania. President Trump is still ahead with 135,702 votes. But a lot of votes still to be counted, a lot of votes still to be processed, and his lead has been shrinking. Even today, throughout the morning, we've been seeing the president's lead come down little by little. 5,000 votes here, 6,000 votes there. We'll see how many votes have left to be counted. We'll see who wins the all-important state of Pennsylvania. If Vice President Biden wins Pennsylvania, that could be it. That is the shape of the battlefield right now. Remember, it is changing by the moment. John King is here to walk us through
바이든이 트럼프보다 40표가 더 많아요.
Crucial states: Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Take us through it.
총 270표가 있어야 되죠.
As you just noted, today could be the decisive day. Joe Biden at 253 electoral college votes. He needs to get to 270 to win the presidency. That's why I'm going to start in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania alone would do it if Joe Biden can overtake the president. The president had a much bigger lead. If we rewind the tape, go back to midnight Tuesday night, it was giant. Go back to yesterday, it was still significant. Now, is that big enough is the question. 135,702 votes lead the President of the United States in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. But Joe Biden has been gaining as these blue counties, Allegheny in the west, Philadelphia and the suburbs around it in the east, have been counting their votes. So let's just take a peek. Philadelphia is the largest. The city of Philadelphia now up to 81%. That tells you a lot of votes still out in a place that is voting overwhelmingly for Joe Biden. These are the mail-in ballots. Democrats, we know, disproportionately voted by mail. Joe Biden has been winning percentages like that, above 70% in all of these counties in southeastern Pennsylvania. And so the math is still possible. And that's why you look at it there. This is Philadelphia. Just want to move over to Montgomery County. They're up to 95%. You come up to Bucks County. Look at this, 49.9 to 48.9. That's the most conservative of the Philadelphia suburbs. A very competitive battle there. They're up to 89%. Just want to dip down here and look at Chester County as well, up to 95%. So what we're waiting for most is right here, the city of Philadelphia. Joe Biden's getting just about 80% of the vote, and they still have votes to count. So a big basket of votes, potential for Joe Biden. And again, if you're at 253, Pennsylvania's 20 will put you over the top. So we'll watch that one as the count continues there. If Joe Biden can't get Pennsylvania, he would need 2, and one of them we're watching is Georgia. Again, late on election.
여기까지 하겠습니다. 내일 아침에 일어나서 발굽혀보기 또 할게요.
Mail-in ballots, especially, you see a lot of red. The president runs it up in rural Georgia, as he does in many states.